Howdy folks, it's Alter and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today we're going to do the next VFR flight of the most recent Formula 1 race. SUZUKA happened just a few hours ago actually at the time of this recording, although you're watching this a day or two later. And just to remind you, if you don't watch every single video, first of all, why not? But secondly, this is going to be my last video in the Formula 1 series this season. And that is because, as you watch this, I am currently recovering from open heart surgery. I've mentioned it here and there in a few other videos. And by the time I recover well enough to do Flight Simulator and make videos and sit at my desk, I'm assuming the season will be pretty much over. And it doesn't really matter anyway, because I had previously done the remaining races last year, I think, or maybe even 2 years ago. So, aside from Vegas, because that's new. But all the rest of them I've already done. So you can just search the channel if you want to see. Otherwise, maybe when I recover, if I get a bug, I'll make up time and record the ones I've missed. But I don't know. So anyway, so for now, this is the last VFR Formula 1 related flight because of, this little surgery I'm having. So, anywho, let's get to it here. The drone is going crooked. We're headed that way, by the way. SUZUKA's over there. I couldn't find any airports near the racetrack, so we're taking off here at the main one, which is called, where is it? Chubu, Centrair or something. We'll find out when I load the ATC. Oh, let's just look in the description below. I always have the airports in the description below. So, alrighty, that was all the introduction we need, I think. I'll tell you about the race. Well, okay, in case you haven't been watching all of these flights, the way these work is I'll talk about the race that just happened and give you some little information and fun tidbits that I picked up as I watched the race. And then we'll fly around, take out the drone, try to take a selfie over the racetrack, and we'll see how it goes. Pretty straightforward. Usually these flights range from like 12 minutes to 35 minutes, just depending. Pretty simple, but it's been a fun theme that we've been doing this season to incorporate Formula 1 and Flight Simulator, and it's really made my subscriptions and views go way up. Crazy. Who knew this mashup would be so popular? Too bad it has to come to an end early, but I do need to stay alive, so I do need a special surgery. I didn't talk through what I was doing this time because we've used this airplane a lot, but I just turned on the fuel mixture, flipped a few buttons, and started it, just for now. Let's tune in ATC though. First of all, let's tune in ATIS. World weather is turned on. I set the time to middle of the day, like 1 p.m. or something.
Centrair Airport information, Oscar 0400 Zulu. Wind 038 at 4. Visibility 6. Sky condition, ceiling 4,900 feet broken. Temperature 21. Dew point 10. Altimeter 30.06. ILS Yankee runway 36 in use. Landing and departing runway 36. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Oscar.
Alrighty, pretty simple. Let's request a taxi then to go to the west, because that's where the racetrack is.
Centrair ground Turtle Soup Tango, Tango Tango, 41 request taxi for west departure with Oscar.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 taxi 2 and hold short of runway 36 via taxiway Echo 3 Bravo Bravo 2 Bravo 1 Alpha 1. Contact tower on 126.2 when ready.
Taxi 2 and hold short runway tree 6 using taxiway Echo Tree, Bravo Bravo, 2 Bravo 1 Alpha 1 Turtle Soup, Tango Tango, Tango 41.
Alrighty, looks like we have a reasonably short taxi, thank goodness. First set of flaps down, there we go. So let's do our favorite taxi view, let's get going. I'm trying to have energy today, because as you watch this, or no, as I record this, I'm about to have surgery in a few hours. Like literally a few hours. I'm not nervous. I was super pumped for the past couple days, like actually excited about this surgery, but that took a lot of energy to be excited, so I'm just tired. Plus, I watched Formula 1 last night from midnight to 2 a.m. That was the time for me. So I'm kind of tired as I record this Sunday morning, my time. But yeah, open heart surgery. If you want to know the details, listen up. Otherwise, just skip ahead to when we get down to the runway here. I'll quickly, briefly discuss it. I'm having VSARR, valve sparing aortic root repair. I have a genetic defect that is in the family of Marfan's disease. You know, Marfan's disease, people have like really long limbs. They're like contortionists. They stretchy, and they don't live long lives usually. I have a defect in that category of genes, and it causes a lot of my pain. Like my limbs will overstretch, my muscles overstretch, my ligaments overstretch, which causes severe pain. And this also causes my aortic root to overstretch, which causes even more pain because it screws up the regulation of blood pressure to every little vessel everywhere in your body. And it's been going on since I was 5 years old. And, well, they didn't know what it was back then, but I've been having issues since I was 5 years old, just lived with it, dealt with it. I'm used to it. I don't know anything else, so whatever. And they found this defect a couple of years ago, and they're like, we'll just keep an eye on it. It'll probably be fine for the rest of your life because it's been fine for 40-some years. But then in the past 18 months, it's been expanding so fast that if I let it sit, it will explode. And then if I have an emergency repair from it exploding, then I have a 10-year maximum lifespan. But if they get to it now, which is in a few hours, literally, of recording this, then I can live forever. Like the surgeon says, yeah, you'll die, but it will not be from this. So the surgery is to keep me alive indefinitely. Yeah, brake's not going to work. The surgery is to keep me alive indefinitely. It may or may not take care of any of the symptoms I have that I've been living with since I was 5. That's not the point of the surgery. Some things could get better. Like I might be able to exercise again and not feel like death. Because I have a very, very severe exercise intolerance. So it could take care of that a little bit. But it's mainly to keep me alive. And I'll talk more about it here after we check in with the tower.
Centrair Tower Turtle Soup Tango 41 at runway tree 6 ready for departure west departure.
Turtle Soup Tango 41 altimeter tree 0.06 wind calm west departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway tree 6.
Cleared for takeoff runway tree 6 Turtle Soup Tango 41.
Alrighty, so yeah, the surgeries just keep me alive. It may or may not take care of my symptoms I've been having my whole life. But that's just the way it is. And I'd rather be alive with my symptoms than not alive. So I'll take what they can give me, make the best of it. I'm not nervous about the surgery. I'm just going to go in. I'll be so tired. I have to get there at 5 a.m. They're going to knock me out by 5:30 a.m. I'll be so tired I won't care. Then I'll just wake up and deal with recovery and brakes and stop the wheels. Flaps coming up. I'm kind of nervous about the recovery. I don't know what to expect. I've been talking to a lot of people who have had open heart surgery. And some of them, they're like, you just take, the heavy meds for 2-3 days and then you're fine. It just hurts and you can't lift things. That's all it is. I know one guy who was literally fishing on a boat 3 days after being discharged. I talked to one woman my age and she said recovery was so bad that even though she gave birth 3 times, she would rather give birth 3 more times and go through recovery again. That seems pretty extreme to me, but that's just what she said. But then again, I can kind of understand it because, giving birth is a finite amount of time, right? Like my wife, she was in labor for 86 hours, but still that was, 86 hours, not 12 to 18 weeks. So whatever. To me, it's apples and oranges. But that was just something the woman said, which I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't sound fun. Anyway, so I talked to someone else more reasonable. He's like, it doesn't hurt. It's just really annoying and achy for several months, and you can't lift things, so you carry your heart pillow around so that you are reminded not to lift things by habit and stuff. So if you're holding your pillow, you can't lift things. And then we got a lift chair so that I can stand up and not have to have people help me stand up, because that's the hardest part. I weigh 223. No, I'm down to under 220. I'm like 218 to 220, but that's because I'm 6'4". I still look like a skinny dude, but I'm 6'4", so I have some weight to me, So my wife can't lift me up. So anyway, just stuff like that. So anyway, that's the surgery I had. By the time you watch this, I already had it. I'm recovering. I don't have a way to give anybody updates. Maybe I'll leave a comment on this video if I'm with it enough to figure out how to get to this on my phone. Maybe I'll leave a comment on this video, so look for that below at some point. Otherwise, I mean, you know, open heart surgery is a huge deal, but it's also pretty routine at the same time. So it's just the recovery I'm concerned about, just because I don't know what to expect for me, because every person is so different. So that's what has me nervous, but we have everything set up at home and all this stuff, and my wife doesn't cook. I do all the cooking, so we'll probably eat out or have food ordered every night. You're supposed to walk around as much as you can handle it. You want to keep moving. You don't want to sit around. So I don't know. We'll see. So I did not expect to share that today, but obviously that's what's on my mind as I fly across the water for 20 minutes or so. Again, I couldn't find a closer airport, so this is just what we're doing. Let's take a view with the drone here while the airplane is kind of steady. Yeah. Whoops. Let's put that away. There we go. Come back. Alright, so what do I need to do? I need to keep track of where we are so we make landfall at the racetrack. If I fly almost perpendicularly to the airport and a little bit to the west, then we'll end up at the racetrack. So you want to be a little bit, no, a little more this way probably. So it's 36 degrees was the runway, which is here. We want to be low. Yeah, this is about what we want to do. Yep. And then we should make landfall.
Turtle Soup Tango Tango
There
Tango
we go.
41, leaving my airspace frequency change.
Leaving airspace. That is good.
Centrair
Okie
Tower
dokie. I'm
Turtle
going to
Soup
keep
Tango
track on
Tango
Google Maps
Tango
of where we
41
are.
frequency
So I make
change.
sure I look for stuff. Okay, so this is definitely too far to the north. We don't want to make landfall there. We want to make landfall. Actually, we pull up the VFR map. And I'll show you where we want. Oh gosh, we're way off course. We want to make landfall. Okay, related to these rivers, where do we want to make landfall? Where are those rivers on the map? Okay, so there. Okay, so there's. Okay, there's this here, and then it curves up. And then there's some stuff that sticks out. I don't know where we want to go, because according to the map, it's directly across from the airport. So we're drifting way off. So it's directly across from the airport. Oh yeah, okay, it is here, because I see these little puddles on the map. So I think we want to be around this area. I think. This is, yes. Okay, I see this on the map. Okay, SUZUKA is right here. Right here next to this thing that sticks out. Right? Yep. I see this river. So there's a highway that comes out. There's SUZUKA right there. Okay, so that's where we're aiming for. So we are way off. Got somebody talking about myself. Sorry. We'll get there. Anywho, let's maintain our altitude though. Let's not start descending. And the weather's cooperating. Like I said, this is real wood weather, so it seems to be cooperating. Alright, so let's aim for that inlet. And then it's right after that inlet. Very cool. And there's this water. I see that on the map. It's up in here. Okay, it's where these puddles are. Okay, there's this puddle with the 3. And okay, cool. There's this puddle. And then the racetrack goes around these puddles. Okay, so the racetrack goes around these puddles. So that's where we're headed. Perfect. Alrighty, so anyway, anything else to blab about? I guess we can start talking about the race now. So, it was, okay, so I'm putting this out a day or two after the race, so maybe you haven't seen yet, maybe you have, whatever. It was the most boring race of the season. It was boring, and not because it was at midnight and I fell asleep a couple times. And then wake up like 7 laps later. I woke up with 3 laps to go though, so that was good. But it was boring, super duper boring. But that's just kind of what the season has become. I don't really understand what the deal is. I don't know. The season's just become really boring. What's there to say? I'll talk about the track when we get there. I learned a lot about the track. But the race itself was just safety car immediately and then nothing. And when I say boring, let me clarify. I don't mean I'm one of those people that wants to see all these crashes and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about when I say it's boring. Because there weren't, there were a couple crashes that were actually kind of funny. There were 2 by the same person on the same dang corner. That's kind of funny. But other than that, that's not what I'm talking about when I say boring. I'm not talking about like, oh, they need to crash and do this stuff. No. What I'm talking about is, you get one person ahead, 30 seconds ahead like the whole race. And then behind them, they kind of settle in, and then not much changes. I mean, there's some passing in the back of the field and things, and there are actually a lot of retirements. There are like 6 or 7 retirements. But it just, I don't know, like the last race in Singapore was super boring except for the last 10 laps or so. And then it was the most exciting race I think I've ever seen in Formula 1, but just for 10 laps. So you can see the track right in front of us. So I mean, it should be like that last race, how Singapore ended. That should be how every race is the whole race. And I say should in air quotes because that's not possible either. But it's just gotten so out of control. There's a joke that goes, true Formula 1 fans know that the real excitement is in the middle of the pack, which was certainly true last year. But this year, it's not even exciting in the mid-pack anymore. It's just, I don't know. And it's kind of what do you make of it. Like, I get really into the technical stuff, so I understand changes to the cars and why. I understand how Aston Martin had a really good start to the season and then got even better, and now they're in the back. I understand why that's happening, but there's just so much difference. It's just like, it's just boring. It's a snooze fest. And I don't know. We'll see how the rest of the season goes because I'll be recovering for the rest of it. Let's hit active pause. Let's take the drone out. Let's talk about the racetrack. So yeah, we'll see how the rest of the season goes as I'm recovering in my lift chair that I got over the weekend. Alrighty, let's talk about this track specifically though. So they start here. That's where they start, obviously. And they go this direction. They come around, do, and then they zip around, and these all have names like spoon curve and whatever, but these are the S curves, obviously. And then it comes around like this, and then it goes under a bridge, which you don't even notice when you're watching on TV, but there's a bridge there. It goes underneath. And then there's this hairpin, which was hysterical, all the stuff that happened at this hairpin over and over and over. And then you come around here, I think they call this 200R, which means it's a 200-degree radius, so they go flat out. And then they come around here. There is a track here in real life, I promise. It doesn't disappear. And then they come down the straightaway. And then there's a 130R, they call it. And most of the cars can go full speed around this corner. Some can't, though. Just depends on their setup in the car. And then you come around here. They call this the triangles. I guess it looks like a triangle here. They call it the triangle, and then they come out, and then boom. This has a problem for a lot of people too, because they floor it coming out of here, and then they overdo it, and then they end up over here. Mainly during qualifying, but it happens. Then they go around and around. So some things about the track, these corners pretty much all have banking, which you cannot see on TV, and you certainly can't see in the sim. But they actually do have banking. So you're going bank left, bank right, bank left, bank right, and it's really hard on your body. This is one of the more difficult tracks of the season. And they use a full throttle for over 65% of the track, where they're just full throttle. So again, if your car's set up for it, fine. If not, then there's problems where you think you can go full throttle through here, then you might lose it or something, depending on your car set up. And, oh, there's a mini Suzuka. Look at this. But anyway, so it's interesting. It was very, 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 very hot, and the drone is getting crooked again. This used to be later on the calendar, but because of monsoon season, it was screwing up a lot of the races. So then they moved it earlier in the calendar when all they deal with extreme heat. So during practices and qualifying, tire degradation was so bad that they thought it would be a three pit stop race. It actually wasn't. It was one for some people and two for most of them. So somehow they were able to keep their tires working. But yeah, it was boring. So if it weren't for all that technical stuff I mentioned, plus more that I'm not going to mention, that's what keeps it exciting for me. I just kind of bummed at how boring things are. It was the race, though, where Red Bull won the Constructor Championship. That's not a spoiler or secret. Everybody knew this was where they were going to win it. A lot of world champion drivers used to get the championship at this race when it was later in the season, so that would make sense. But now that it's earlier, I think Max could have won the championship this time if he had finished better last time, I think. I really don't even know anymore. But anyway... So there's your Formula 1 track in SUZUKA, which is crooked because of the drone, but I do want to take a picture of it if I can. Maybe. That's kind of a dumb picture. Let me do it like this. Well, we got to get the title in there. There. Let's just go like this maybe. Take some pictures, see which one works out the best. Anywho, so there you go. There's SUZUKA. It looks nice. I love the permanent tracks. I used to really be into street tracks when I was younger, and now I can't stand the street tracks. I like the permanent tracks. Street tracks are just ugly to me. But anyway, where are we going to land this airplane? Because there are no airports anywhere. There's an airport there. I'm looking for like a small airport in the mountain. You have to be zoomed in. But I don't even see... anything small. I don't want to fly across the country. I don't want to fly across the country to get to an airport over here. Because there's this one. I mean, we could fly back where we came from, I guess. That's not always that fun, though. There's one down there, but that's quite a ways away. Are there any up here? Any small ones? No, that's pretty much it. Romeo, Julio. Golf. Yeah, I guess that's where we are. See, we're zoomed in enough for smaller airports, so... I mean, there's nothing unless you fly... There's just nothing. They don't even have any mountain airports. That's crazy. Alrighty, well, let's go back, I guess, to where we came from, and... whatever. So looking up in front of us, so that's really beautiful to look at, isn't it? Let's enjoy this a moment and not think about the racetrack. Wow. And if you're wondering where we are, we're literally in like the city or area of SUZUKA. That's what it's called. It's not just the name of the track. Yeah. Wow. So anyway, you can, well actually I can probably show you on this map if I zoom out. You can see where we are in relation to everywhere else in Japan. Will it let me zoom out farther? Not really. So there's us. And I can't. You can't get the full picture of Japan. So just type in SUZUKA in Google, zoom out, you'll see where we are. Alrighty, anyway, let's head back. Let's tune in to the airport. And I guess I could have just stayed. Yeah, look, there's nothing closer. Look at that. That's crazy. That next one is Joe, which is way to the south. Okay, we'll just go back to where we came from. Let's tune in. Full stop. Landing.
Centrair Tower Turtle Soup Tango 41 is 15 miles west, 2,000 feet with Oscar to land.
Turtle Soup Tango for 1 Centrair Tower. Altimeter tree 0.06 wind calm enter left traffic runway tree 6.
Make left downwind runway tree 6 Turtle Soup Tango 41.
This wind is really getting me in this direction. Anyway, I wanted to look at the racetrack one more time here. And then the mini SUZUKA. Wow, I'm really struggling here to get going. Jeez. This is crazy. Anyway, we need to get back. Another reason why I don't want to fly farther away is because I have to get this video edited so you can watch it, which you are watching it, which means I got to edit in time. Because I got stuff to do today too. I got to take a special shower before my surgery tonight and tomorrow. I'm going to shave off my beard. I don't really have, well, I do have a beard, I guess. Weird for me to say. I have like a small beard. I'm going to get rid of it because I don't know how long it'll be until I can lift my arms to shave again. And I don't want it to grow and annoy me, so I'm going to shave that off. My teenager wants to do some more practice driving, although he told me that he prefers to ride with mom because mom is very passive. So mom will just let him drive, and then when something happens and it's too late, then she talks about it, where I talk about it before and as it's happening. He just likes that she lets him be. I'm like, well, that might bite you in the butt pretty soon, so I don't think you want that either. So anyway, I'm going to be driving with him because I don't know if I'll be able to drive around with him when I'm recovering. I have to go places 3 days a week for heart rehab, but I don't know if riding with a 15-year-old is going to be comfortable to do that. I got some other stuff to do, so I gotta get back. Gotta get back. That's what we're doing here. Let's look at the racetrack. There it goes. Behind the pillar. Look at the beautiful mountains. Oh, as far as elevation changes, it's a downhill start, which makes things very difficult with the clutching and things. So starting downhill is a challenge for that track as far as the final segment is downhill, which is another thing you don't really see on TV. You don't really get the elevation changes on TV. You kind of do in the sim a little bit sometimes. Like, it's really easy to see Red Bull Ring, how you go up the side of the mountain and S-curve down the side of the mountain. You can see that in the sim. You can't see that on TV. You know, it doesn't look like that. But anywho, so what's next? Well, that has nothing to do with us because we're done flying these for the season, but Qatar's next. And then it moves over to Central Time Zone. It's like Texas and Mexico and Rio de Janeiro, and then over to Middle East. And then, so yes, I think most of the rest of the season is actually in my time zone because I think Qatar's a night race, and then all the Central Time Zone races. So I feel badly for my family because normally I watch these when they are sleeping, and then it's all over. They don't even notice. But for the next like 5 races or so, they're gonna have to sit through Friday practice, Saturday qualifying, Sunday race, or a couple of them. There's a Thursday practice, shootout, sprint, and then race. But I guess out of like 21 or 27 races, or 24 races, they only have to like listen to like 5 of them because the rest are all weird time zones. Vegas for me is midnight though, because they wanted a 10 p.m. race in Vegas, so it's midnight for me. They wanted a Saturday night race. I'll stay up for that one. But otherwise, this will, if you land, it'll conclude our Formula 1 flight sim mashup. Like I said, I might go back and fly these post-season, maybe. I don't know. So make sure you're subscribed so you know if I do that. And then like the video so people know we exist. I'm pretty sure I was the only person this year doing flight sim Formula 1 mashup. And then I'm going to get behind on bush trips, but hopefully there's only one set of bush trips before I recover. So then I won't get behind on those. And if I get behind on bush trips, it's going to be exhausting to catch up. And I do have some subscriber requests, so when I do come back from recovery, I do plan on doing the subscriber requests first. So feel free to leave those in the comments. I'll add them to my list when I'm recovered. And I'll probably talk a lot about my recovery after I've recovered. It's one of those badges of honor, right? Open heart surgery is like a badge of honor you wear. You get the zipper scar, which I'm going to show off proudly. And yeah, so let's see, we're going to want to go this way, I think. Did they tell us it's going to be approach for 36? I wasn't really paying, yeah, yep. Left downward for 36. So any minute now, they'll be giving us clearance to land. Anywho, very wordy in this flight, but that's because you're not going to hear my voice for a couple months. Or, I don't know, maybe it'll just be a couple weeks. Maybe it'll be a couple months. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. My heart health is 100% for my age group, aside from this defect that they're going to fix. so that's helpful. I do have other issues, like I have POTS, POTS, you can Google it. Which is if I sit down and stand up, then I feel like all hell for like 6 hours. You can Google that if you want to, but we'll see. I mean, I might come back from the hospital and in 3 days be like, heck, I got the time off of work, I might as well do a flight sim video. You never know. You might hear from me in a week and a half, or it might be 3 months. You don't know. So subscribe so you know when. Alrighty, let's see. Gonna give us clearance? I guess we're farther away than it looks, aren't we? Man, I feel like we're going like 2 miles an hour. That's what happens when you take a tiny plane to do a big job, huh?
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 wind calm. Cleared to land runway tree 6.
Cleared to land runway tree 6, Turtle Soup Tango, Tango Tango 41.
Alright, we're gonna keep our speed full speed ahead. We'll just trim down so we descend while we speed up. I don't care if we speed up. I want to get out of the way of other people. I do have real traffic turned on, so apparently no one else is landing here. Anyway, I wonder how people got to the track. Did they fly into this airport in ferry, or did they fly to us from the other side of the island and drive? I'd imagine they flew here and ferried. Or maybe they went to Nagoya, to the north, maybe? Which is up there. That's what all this is. Maybe they flew into there, because there were airports there, I guess. But this was the closest to the racetrack. Oh boy, don't stall on me, Sim. What's going on? Clear to land, but we're still like 5 minutes out. Oh, come on, don't do that stall thing we talked about. Which has nothing to do with me. Because people in the comments section have said their computers are 10 times beefier than mine, and they have the same problems. So. Alright, let's land on the runway, which is there, and not pull Harrison forward and land on the taxiway over there. People still talk about that. Alrighty, here we go. Very straightforward, simple approach and landing. Super duper simple, other than I'm going very fast. Which will be fine, because I'll kill throttle right before we turn on the final. And then we'll drop like a rock. And we'll be good, so here we go. Drop it down. Start turning. Don't have peripheral vision, so it's difficult, but we'll figure it out. The weather seems to be very friendly for this airplane, which is good, because I wasn't sure what to expect. And here we go. Like I said, we're high, but we're dropping like a rock, which is totally okay. And then we'll bleed off speed, let flaps out, land long, just because we can. We could probably do 5 touch and goes on this runway. So here we go. Oh, a little bit of crosswind. Oh boy. Yeah, it is a little windy. That's okay. Nothing we can't handle, I think. We'll try our best here. Come on, let it sink. There we go. Bleeding off speed like I promised. I could have slipped it. I guess I didn't, but I could have for a set of flaps. Doo-doo-doo. Coming on down. Aiming for the 36. Pretty straightforward, like I said. And there's 2 sets of flaps. There we go. We'll fly over it. We're not in a hurry to touch down. Full flap. Get a little bit closer because we're a lot higher than it looks. Start to bleed off here. Level off as it goes up below us because it's uphill. There we go. Bam. Flaps coming in. And let's aim for this taxiway. And they're giving us a thing right there. Taxi ribbon. There we go. It's not letting us turn because of the wind. Goodness gracious. Whoa, let's stay going here. Contact ground.
126.2 Turtle Soup Tango 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 41. Centrair ground Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 taxi to parking.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha Tree Sierra Bravo Tree Echo Tree.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha Tree Sierra Bravo Tree Echo Tree Turtle Soup Tango 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 41.
And we'll follow the racing line because we can. Why not? And looks like they want us over here. Whoa, that one gonna tip us over? That would not be fun. Well, they have like two. They have a spot for us to go here and there. Oh no, that's just a blue truck. Okay, I was gonna say, the same color blue though. I was gonna say, why would they have two spots? Coming through. Thank you for your help and your service to the airport, and stop trying to tickle your armpits with the prop. Set the parking brake. Come on down. Turn off everything. There we go. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. And turn off our fuel. If I can find the thing. There we go. Alright, very simple. I don't need too much of an outro. Just make sure you subscribe so you know when I get back online. And hit the notification button so you get notified. Hit the like button as well, even if you normally don't, because that's how people know we exist with the algorithm. Any interaction counts. The like button is the easiest thing to do. Even myself, I've been hitting the like button more often than I used to. Just because people like what I do, and I do it for the community as much as I mean, I enjoy doing it, but I do it for the community. So let people know I exist, and I'll see you. Like I said, it could be a couple weeks, could be a couple months, but you're subscribed and notified, right? So you'll know. I'll see you next time.